What's up, everybody? It's me, Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Overwatch video. And in this video, we have a ton of news stories to cover in our news roundup. Skin crossovers, Ramattra added to comp, characters like Junker Queen, Sombra, and Zarya all getting confirmed buffs, XQC in the World Cup, and even more news. There's a lot we gotta talk about, so we're gonna break it all down. But do me a huge solid and smash that subscribe and check me out streaming live right now in the links down below. Now, certain Overwatch developers have already expressed interest in having potential crossover skins, but one example in particular blew up over the internet where Protein NYXL made a mock-up crossover between Spider-Gwen and Widowmaker, and the internet just went crazy, and you could see why. Now, honestly, Overwatch is a game that I think would fit some crossover skins pretty well as long as they were high-quality crossovers that were well done, but some part of the community don't want crossovers because they think that the regular skins in Overwatch will simply become lazy and there won't be some really cool designs. I'm a little bit on the fence, to be honest. I think that the majority of us just want cheaper skins, but if we could get some crossover skins for cheap that just brought more people into Overwatch in general, I think that would be overall a good thing, especially if they weren't too expensive. But let me know down below how you feel about crossover skins, and if there was one franchise that you could cross over with Overwatch, what would it be and what would be the specific skin of your choice? Now, the next thing that we need to talk about is Ramattra. Ramattra did recently get a really big buff, and a lot of people have been playing Ramattra in quick play, talking about Ramattra having tons of potential to dominate ranked with his new buffs. And Tuesday, Ramattra gets added to comp. Now, comp has been getting a lot of criticism for a number of different reasons, whether it's the lack of transparency, the heavy D-ranking, or the seemingly super unbalanced state of ranked right now. And I can only imagine Ramattra getting added to the fray is gonna make things even crazier. But if you could either learn how to master Ramattra fast enough to abuse her to get some easy wins, or learn how to abuse and punish enemy Ramattras, you're gonna have a lot of success when he's finally live. So I'm gonna make sure to make a video about it then, but stay tuned for that. Next up, let's talk about some of the buffs that are actually being worked on right now that are going to come at the mid-season patch not too long from now. First off, we do know that Junker Queen is going to be getting a buff according to the developers in an interview with players like Emong and Flats. We know that Junker Queen is going to get some meaningful buffs, and I think that the vast majority of people are happy about that. Junker Queen's a very interesting tank. Not only is she really interesting from a playstyle perspective, but she doesn't create these really unfun moments like Hog, and especially if we get Junker Queen buffs with Ramattra added to the game. I think all in all, it's going to be a good time for tank players, and hopefully we'll see some less Hog running around. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But also, don't forget that the developers have talked about Sombra and Zarya buffs, things that they're going to actually put in down the pipeline. We don't know if that's going to be mid-season buff or if that's going to be towards next season. Not really sure at this point, but I do think if Zarya is stronger, we might be able to have a legitimate counter to Hog and then see less Hog and then maybe more Winston because Winston's good against Zarya, but we also don't want to end up in a season 1 meta, so hopefully they don't overdo it. Same thing with Sombra. I think that Sombra is probably underpowered right now, but I'm not entirely sure if I even like a meta where Sombra is legitimately that good. But you let me know. What characters do you want to see buffed and nerfed? Do you like the idea of Junker Queen, Sombra, and Zarya buffs? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, of course, last update, we talked about the World Cup. We talked about the big World Cup that's going to have 32 regions, and it's coming back for the first time in 3 years, and we even have people all putting their hat in the ring to potentially try out, where XQC actually responded to a post by Vancouver Titans talking about XQC coming out of retirement. And of course, he put this Ryan picture where, yeah, he's pretty washed old. He's a boomer in the Overwatch space at this point, and well, I definitely think that you could make an argument to put XQC on the Canadian roster because of the notoriety it would bring the Overwatch World Cup and just the hype it might potentially bring. I'm not entirely sure if XQC is currently good enough to participate compared to all the other talent in the Canadian region. Remember, he hasn't been grinding the game all that hard, and even after Overwatch 2 came out, he's only played it here and there. He hasn't really hard grinded it. And of course, on top of that, every single country wants to win, and who knows if XQC would actually commit to practicing consistently with the Canadian roster with everything else he has going on. So I don't know. I think it would be interesting for sure and really hype. So part of me is like, hell yeah, just do it. But I understand if XQC wouldn't make it on the roster. Now, of course, Super also retired, and Super said that if he can, he's going to try out for the United States team, and that would be really, really sick as well, but there is a ton of talent to choose from in NA, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone else gets the slot, but Super has consistently shown that he is someone that can play at a high level. This is also the first 5v5 World Cup, so it's very weird because a lot of these main tank players, of course, they can play the off-tank role, but do you get someone that is really, really known and good at off-tanks, or do you get someone that is known and good at main tanks? I guess it's going to really depend on the meta or how good they are at each character or how flexible they are. There's a lot of factors here, so we're going to have to wait and see. But what player do you want to see on a World Cup for which region and why? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, the last thing that we need to talk about is a way for you to get free skins. If you watch the Contenders Pacific Showdown tournament, you can get the Contenders Cassidy and Hanzo skins. And they look like this, and that's pretty freaking cool. So at the very least, you get some free skins just for watching some Overwatch. And if you want to, you can just put it on the background and then just earn your rewards. So yeah, there's really no downside. So those of you who are looking for some free skins, go check it out. But I really hope you enjoyed this news roundup. Please check out my Twitch right now. I should be streaming live. Smash and subscribe and let me know what videos you want to see next. Thank you all for the support, and I'll see you next time.